To be able to get through the selection process, one has to be very focused, extremely driven, almost to the point of having superhuman concentration on getting the job done.
The British Special Air Service is one of the most feared and respected special forces units on Earth. But almost no one truly understands what it takes to earn the beige beret. This video explores the harsh truth of the British SAS selection, a process designed not to train soldiers, but to break them. From the freezing winds of the Brecon Beacons to the suffocating heat of the jungle, every step is a test of pain, discipline, and mental endurance. More than 90% of candidates will fail. The few who survive discover a truth far harsher than any legend.
We were the people that nobody had ever heard of until that moment. We were the SAS, hidden away in darkest Herefordshire.
Strength won't save you, but refusing to stop just might. What these soldiers face is a test so unforgiving, it strips every weakness bare, revealing a truth spoken only in whispers inside the most dangerous Special Forces program. Dropped into the fire. A cold wind sweeps across the Brecon Beacons. A long line of soldiers moves slowly over the rocky ground, each person carrying a heavy rucksack across their back and a rifle held tightly in their hands. Their boots are soaked. Their uniforms are covered in mud. They have already marched for hours, and they know they still have many more miles to go. Every step hurts. Their feet are blistered. The muscles in their legs and shoulders feel like they are tearing apart. Yet no one is allowed to stop and rest. This is the first week of SAS selection. It is not a place for comfort or support. There are no cheering crowds, no friendly voices, and no one waiting to help if a candidate struggles. The directing staff, the instructors in charge, only watch in silence. They do not tell anyone to push harder. They do not offer praise. If someone falls behind, they are simply told to hand over their number and leave. The silence makes the challenge even harder, because every candidate must fight doubt alone. The Brecon Beacons are perfect for testing soldiers, because the mountains rise steep and unforgiving. The weather changes quickly. One moment, the sun feels warm. The next, rain or strong winds make the path slippery and dangerous. Navigation is done solo, and every wrong turn adds more distance to an already impossible march. Most of these men trained for months, even years, to stand here today. Some came from the parachute regiment. Others came from the Royal Marines or light infantry units. All of them arrived believing they were strong enough to pass the SAS selection. Yet even now, after only a few days, they can see the truth. Many in their group are already disappearing from the line. At this moment, everyone understands something important. Only the elite of the elite have any chance of surviving here. And this is only the beginning. The SAS has many more ways to break you. Where legends go to be broken. The Special Air Service did not begin as a large, well-known unit. Its origins go back to the middle of the Second World War, when Britain needed a new kind of soldier. Traditional armies were not enough to defeat an enemy that controlled huge areas of North Africa and Europe. In 1941, a young officer named David Sterling formed a small team that would sneak far behind enemy lines. Their job was to attack German airfields, sabotage supply routes, and gather intelligence, all without being caught. Their first attempt failed because of bad weather and strong German defenses. Many men were captured or killed. However, their second mission succeeded, and they destroyed dozens of enemy planes on the ground. These early victories proved that small, highly trained teams could have a powerful impact on a large war. The SAS began to grow. It added British soldiers, Free French fighters, and Greek commandos. These men learned how to survive in deserts, move quietly at night, and strike quickly before the enemy even knew they were there. Later in the war, SAS teams parachuted into France to support the Allied invasion of Europe. They helped local resistance fighters, cut communication lines, and attacked German units trying to move reinforcements to the front. Because of their tactics, German leaders considered the SAS extremely dangerous. Soldiers captured from SAS teams risked being executed on the spot. After the war ended in 1945, many believed there was no longer a need for such a unit. The SAS was temporarily disbanded. However, new threats soon appeared. The Cold War raised fears of a major conflict, and insurgencies spread in different parts of the world. By 1950, the SAS was brought back, this time as an official and permanent part of the British Army. They proved their importance again during the Malayan Emergency, where communist fighters were hiding in thick jungles. SAS patrols used the skills learned during the war to track them and gather information. They showed that they could operate in environments very different from the deserts of North Africa. As decades passed, the SAS continued to adapt. Their missions took them to mountains in Oman, cities in Northern Ireland, and remote islands in the South Atlantic. They raided enemy positions, helped capture dangerous war criminals, and supported Allied forces in secret operations. In 1980, the world saw the SAS live on television during the Iranian embassy siege in London. Terrorists held hostages inside a building. After days of planning, SAS teams stormed the building, rescued almost all of the hostages, and ended the crisis within minutes. This single event showed the public how skilled and fast the SAS were. Later, they deployed to conflicts in the Middle East, including the Gulf War, Afghanistan, and Iraq. In these places, SAS soldiers took part in reconnaissance missions, tracked high-value targets, and worked alongside other elite units such as the U.S. Delta Force. The modern SAS must be able to act anywhere: deserts, mountains, jungles, and crowded cities. They may need to move silently to observe a target or rapidly attack a building to save innocent lives. They might spend weeks hiding behind enemy lines, gathering information, and waiting for the right moment to strike. The wide range of operations means they need people with special skills and the ability to stay calm under extreme pressure. To find the right people, the SAS created a selection process that tests every part of a person's body and mind. It is not enough to be strong. A candidate must think clearly, even when tired, lost, hungry, or scared. They must follow orders perfectly, even when no one is watching. They must show that they will not break under stress. That is why selection begins with physical tests and timed marches in the mountains. The break-on beacons provide steep slopes, sharp weather changes, and long distances that quickly expose weakness. Throughout these marches, every candidate must carry a heavy rucksack, navigate alone, and push forward even when their energy is gone. These early stages are not meant to build someone up. They are designed to show who can survive the first step toward becoming a member of one of the world's toughest units. Many capable soldiers reach this point believing they will succeed, but the mountains often prove them wrong. Some struggle with the weight. Others become lost when fog rolls in. Many simply reach a moment when they can no longer convince their bodies to continue. Every day the number of candidates drops. Those who remain know they have passed only the simplest part of a much longer and harder journey. Surviving the hills means only one thing. You're now ready to suffer even more. The hills. The first phase of SAS selection begins far from enemy territory. It takes place in South Wales, in a rugged area known as the Brecon Beacons. The land is cold, windy, and unpredictable. Sharp rainstorms can appear without warning. Fog can hide the path even a few meters ahead. For most people, this would already be uncomfortable. For SAS candidates, it is just the start of the biggest challenge of their lives. When candidates arrive, they already know the stories. They know that almost everyone fails in this phase. They know that selection does not allow chance, excuses, or weakness. Before any major tests begin, they must pass basic fitness tasks such as running, marching, and swimming within strict time limits. These are not meant to eliminate applicants. They simply prepare the group for what comes next.